This is making sense of interior design and spaces we get to live in, we get to work in. Welcome. Today, we're talking about the boxes we live in. Most of us see a room as four walls and a floor, but my guest today sees a room as a psychological landscape. Joan is a senior interior designer in one of Nairobi's most influential firms. John, you have spent years shaping how people work and live in this city. How does the end of a week look for interior designer?
We honestly look forward to the weekend
Yeah, definitely.
and look forward to being reunited with our beds.
For sure.
Yes, unless we have maybe deadlines, then we have to burn the midnight oil.
I think we've been doing that ever since.
Campus.
I was about to say high school.
Not
Since campus.
Yes. I think it was sort of I'd say prep for what's coming.
Oh, that's crazy because I think I was going for my first internship. I was asked how the pressure of studying interior design is. It has so much pressure. And then after I finished that explanation, the guy told me the pressure outside compared to the pressure that you have in school, it's that small. Yeah, that is real. Coming from a place of studying to think, oh man, all these things are so hard, to come into the place of work, you're like, man, that was nothing.
True. That was fun. This is
That was
like
a lot of fun, baby.
partying through hell.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, with the pressure that comes with real life, what do you think would tell our campus students, as a piece of a hint, a piece of advice, something they can hold on to when they get into the real world?
Wow. Brace yourself.
For sure. Oh, for sure.
But there is hope in that you should definitely look for those internship opportunities or attachment opportunities while you're still in school, so that it opens your mind into the outside world before you actually join in. Because once you get out here, people are not really looking at training from scratch. They need to meet you somewhere at a level, chap
Yeah,
for lack of a better word.
Chap. Oh yeah, because there are so many. I think we were talking about this before, and you're saying how a site can just have so many components, and definitely, or they have many components or just moving pieces at the same time, just to have this thing come to an end at the same time, at a certain time. There's so many things that go into that space. So what do you? First and foremost, there's speaking to the client who sometimes feels this is kufanya tu kidogo. You're just doing something small and then you're out of here. But definitely going to the technical part of it, you're just like, hey yo, you want to move this door from here to here? We have paintwork, we have demolition, we have a guy to do the door, we need a guy to, there's electrical, you need to move electrical. So you come and find just the component, you're adding a small piece of furniture here, or even a fitting, a fit out, and then you're just like, yo, it's
never just plug and play, especially when everything is in place already.
For sure.
It's never as simple as that.
Even if it's just assembling, you're just like, yo, it is a process.
No, even as simple as a loose furniture, you'll just say, this thing, you just come and move it around, But you have to consider, if I add this here, will it interfere with the circulation that's already there? Will it even fit in with whatever language is already happening inside this space?
For sure.
There's a lot to look at.
And what do you think we miss? And especially the part where I'm like, Anna, you don't need the interior designer. You can do this. What do you feel like it misses by not engaging an interior designer? So much.
So much. Because it's our job to understand you as a person, and to translate you as a person into your space. With that, we also add the value of learning how just the space, how it flows, how it functions. It's just never just aesthetics, just putting color here,
For sure.
there. It's more functionality and how it affects your moods and your behavior in the larger picture.
The activity.
Yes. So if you say you just want to cut corners and you don't involve us in your project, you run so many risks, like lifelong risks. At the end of the day, they'll catch up to you. It might be ergonomics, it might be how your space
How you
feels like.
how you maximize you in this place.
Yes, exactly. So you might find you place something here, but it doesn't really work there. It would give you more in return if it was placed in a certain place. Or how maybe your lighting, you use the wrong lux levels, so you're always getting migraines and you don't understand why.
For sure.
So you need a designer to actually tell you, okay, you need these certain lux levels that actually bring an ambience into your space paired with some of these tones in your space. You need functional furniture to keep your back right. Yeah, such small things.
You need some small cushions to be able to put your back right as you just sit there, you see?
Yeah, even cushions. You might use a very soft cushion and it's not good for your back. Yeah.
Sure. Hey, getting technical in it, making sense of why to engage some people in your projects, in your life, because definitely people are building every day. You either live in a space, work in a space. You're always in a space. You're not animals to just wander out there. So interior designers yani mnapoteana naye sana. In a city like Nairobi, commercial real estate is booming. Many business owners think hiring a designer is just an extra cost for pretty colors. Point number 1, the production link. How layout reduces friction in a workplace?
I would say...
What is a layout, first of all?
A layout. A layout is... I'm looking for very simple terms here.
Arrangement.
Yes, that one. A layout is an illustration that shows arrangement of your space, of simple elements within your space cohesively arranged in order to merge into one to produce a functional yet productive space.
For sure. And how it reduces friction in a workspace?
I would say a layout is like an invisible guide. If you mess up your layout, it messes up a lot of things. In terms of, let's say something about you place your workstation close to a breakout space without enclosing that in an open breakout space. You immediately bring in distraction within the space, which ultimately reduces your productivity levels. You're always just distracted, so you never get anything done at the end of the day. Or you're always just enticed by smells for food, so you just sneak out for some snacks like this, yeah?
So productivity is lowered.
Yeah, so I would say, in a nutshell, friction in a space is where your space is not working. It is not flowing. You have too many distractions. Your air quality is not fit for you to stay there. In a nutshell, it's just your space is not livable. The way you've arranged all the elements within it, it is not maximizing your full potential within that space.
Nice. Maximizing your full potential in the space.
Yes,
That's
and
amazing.
friction is very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Health-wise, image-wise.
Mental health kwanza.
For sure.
Yeah, so you'll end up spending a lot more trying to fix that issue that you would have easily brought in from the word go. Yeah.
And you have just flowed.
Yeah, just flowed.
No, it's
Very
not flowing.
productive, not
You have
flowing.
blockages.
You find yourself knocking your toes in some very
Oh,
tables.
yeah. For sure. For brand identity, why a client feels the vibe of a company before a single word is spoken. So please tell us about brand identity, and how you get to why it's such a big consideration as we're doing the spaces that we do.
I'd use an example, a very simple example. When you're dating, what do you look at first? Even before the person speaks.
How they dress,
how they look, if they have a smile on their face, if they look inviting or anything. So it's just the same thing when clients are scouting out for firms to work with. How the general outlook of the firm looks like, which is the brand, determines a lot if they would decide to work with you or not.
for sure.
So if your brand presence is weak, in that we're searching online, you don't appear online, we have to go look at do you still look at directories?
What are you gonna put as a designer? Just your contact, because again you have to
No,
also put
you
some
have to have a
photos and
website, a portfolio. You can have a website, but you don't have a portfolio. So how am I as a client supposed to work with you when I don't even have a clue of what you do?
Sure.
It's just text. You just say, yes, we are very competent. We do corporate spaces, we do residential spaces, but you don't have any backing information for that. So brand is very important in that how you present yourself to the world is how they would receive you. So the more welcoming and more powerful your brand presence is, the higher the chances you'll get clients on board. Then once you get them in, keeping them is now where the real work starts.
And how do you get to do that as a designer? How do you keep clients? How do you make them repeat customers?
It's more of your service quality.
Nice.
Clients always love to feel like they were heard. So you give them the best service you possibly can, and you make them feel listened to and heard. In that, when they give you a brief and they want certain things implemented within their space, you tell them, yes, this can be done. At times, people want some elements within their space that really don't work. But as designers, you tell them, okay, this might not work for this space, but might work for this. Or now your job is like, okay, you want this, let me break it down in a different way that still speaks of what you want, but in just a different language.
Just to be able to even to achieve it,
Exactly, yeah.
Because maybe materials-wise, maybe expertise-wise, maybe you want something in the next week, and yet whatever you need to have needs to be imported. Definitely that takes a longer time. And even with all of this,
so you give them options.
Costs
Costs are a major.
Options, definitely.
So you give them options. You tell them, okay, you want this costs this, it needs importation, it needs this. However, we have this option. And most often than not, people think when you give them options, it's just a lesser quality than the higher brand that you had in mind from the word go. But that's not usually the case. It's just that people have a misconstrued concept about what is quality and what is low quality. It's just more of exposure to different markets. Because even when you're doing like your very small projects that are really low on budget, you can still deliver something really good with affordable material, and it does not mean that it is low quality. It is just more affordable.
I think that's why people actually are missing it. No, I don't want cheaper, I just want more affordable.
Well, if you say cheap, already what you're planting in someone's mind is low quality, it's going to break in a few, which yes, you get something like a 10 shillings across the road, day 2 it's already broken.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but at times you can also buy something at a very high price, but day 2 it's also broken.
Oh gosh, the dilemma.
So you just need to learn to trust It's like we are like doctors per se. You just need to trust us that we know what we are bringing to your table is of good quality
For sure.
and also easy on your pocket.
For sure. Yeah. I would also want to focus also on achieving brand identity for corporate clients. You see, you have a client with their blues in their design profile, or with their brand identity is they have the blues. So definitely taking the blue through their reception, to their working area, to their lounge, to their eating area, to their parking, until you get to that place, you're like,
That's a very blue space.
this is a very blue oriented client. You're like, whoa. Even if you close your eyes, you see a blue, you just think about that one client. So just to bring back now interior design to a part where it's so critical in brand identity to the people we provide services to as interior designers.
About brand identity, mostly we relate it to color. And it's just simply because as humans we tend to relate a lot of visual things we tie it to something.
Yeah.
And color is the easiest way to do it. So it's just if let's say your target market is your clients who walk into your reception, then your reception is the best place to put in all your brand, not all of them, but tactfully put in your brand elements in the reception. And then the other areas, your staff are the ones who occupy that space more than your walk-in clients. So for your staff, it's more about reminding them why they enjoy working for you. So it's just reminding them of the mission and vision statements that you have within your company, so that it also motivates them to keep working there and enjoy their life at work.
For sure.
It's also about translating, just the same way I've said the mission and vision. So when we understand brand, it's understanding it from the logo to the mission to the vision, what you do as a company, who your target market is, and what at the end of the day what your goals are, and then translating those into small elements within the space. Yeah.
Nice. You spice up the space.
Yes, like
Space Bay. No South Bay. This is South Bay on the spaces.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very crucial. Nairobi is a tech hub already. It is. And with even Microsoft, Google offices, and definitely all the other companies that have been in the country still advancing to match up the interior standards or brand standards, because now with that you cannot only just have your print looking good and your other exterior stuff looking good. You definitely have to also, if you're rebranding, you also have to rebrand your spaces.
Yes.
So with that, where do you think your desire? Where do you think we're headed to as we are going tech? What are the trends right now?
Well, with the rise of tech within workspaces, it has opened opportunities for more flexible working.
Okay.
So it's more of I can work from anywhere and everywhere as long as I meet my deliverables. So how it has informed the trend in spaces now is that we are designing more flexible spaces where we have meeting rooms here and there. Maybe it could be for 2, 4 people, 8 people, and then you have more hot desking rather than allocated desks, like this is my desk. So you have hot desking so that anyone who's free and available at the time can use the desks that are free. And then we have more of open collaborative spaces where if you need a quick discussion, you can go and sit somewhere and just have a quick discussion with your team, and then disband. And then there's also small quiet spaces where you just have like seats with some acoustic treatment, where you can take your quick calls or something of the sort. That doesn't really require very it's not how do you call it, top secret. Your top sure. So you can use open acoustic booths for such kind of calls. And then you have like these phone pods that are movable. You can just plug and play. So those are usually reserved for possibly 1 to 4 packs. But recently there are some companies that are actually bringing in higher capacity movable booths.
More than 4.
Yeah, so with that you can play around with your space. It won't ever be like the same for like today we fitted out your space and then 2 years down the line it's the same. If you want to switch things up, you can easily switch things up because most of the elements are very movable.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Technology.
Yes. Oh, yes. And also bringing in outdoor spaces. Outdoor spaces, you always just know you're just going there to just vibe with nature and everything. Nowadays, you can also create small spaces, pockets of spaces within the outdoors, just to accommodate your small meetings, or just for private working. Like you just need time away from your 4 walls.
For sure.
You just go outside and work comfortably.
That is next level. You're in nature. Actually, it's like being a caveman, but a modern caveman. You can be out there, and then you can actually like, oh no, I have an iMac, and I can actually, or you have your laptop, and you can just continue with whatever you're doing, and then you close up. You deliver whatever you need to deliver.
Yes, and you can
close
still
up.
sip like a cocktail or something wherever you are, from wherever you are. It's more of giving people more choices of how and where they can work
And still work
productively. And that's where people are actually moving towards. People are different, productive in different environments, so it's just giving them an array of environments where each one can feel most productive in.
You have many options of being productive. You just like, which one do you want to? But productive, you can be, just choose your spot.
Yes.
That's it. From the works that you've done, what kind of personalities have you met with, and do you think spaces reflect people's personalities, or it's the other way around?
I would say the space, it's more of a
interrelational.
Yes, it's more of an interrelationship. Your space can say a lot about you, but before that space said anything about you, you put in those things in that space. So how you dictate your space to come out as, that is what it will give back to you. Yeah. So if your mind is always ever in, like it's always moving, you have a lot of clutter in your mind, you'll always come in subconsciously. You'll come in, throw your key somewhere, your bag somewhere on the floor, move to the room, or pile of clothes, move them from the bed to the seat, wake up, move it, sit on your seat, work, then that. So what that shows is you started to make that space become that way. And then now the space is more of, I'd say it's more of like a behavioral return investment. So your space is an investment. And what it gives back to your moods is the return. Like it's whatever you get back. So if you feel like you're always drowsy, tired, your home is no longer an oasis for you, there is something that you're not quite putting in. Instead, we should hinge on to more of our positive traits, so that it brings out what we are mostly happy about ourselves within the space. Yeah, and then it's more like, I'd say, behavioral architecture. if I can put it that way, because your space does affect your moods.
For sure.
And like not your personality, it affects your moods, and definitely how you interact with people from day to day.
Definitely mood after mood after mood
mood after mood.
day,
So imagine
comes to your
you're coming
personality.
from work, your workspace is not what you wanted it to be. You're coming home, it's also full of, it's not functional, it's not airy, it's not giving you peace. So you'll always be in some sort of mood.
For sure. Actually, when you've spoken about it, the emotional ROI, return on investment, at the floor of a home can reduce domestic stress.
Oh yes, it can.
Yeah. Now, actually, we've already given the explanation of it, so right now you're just coming back to that too.
Recap.
Yeah, so definitely. So it's an emotional ROI, and you put it the best way. You said it's a behavioral investment, or
it's behavioral architecture.
Or behavioral architecture.
Yeah.
But the summary you said it's an investment.
Yes, your space is an investment.
What investments?
It's an investment mentally, physically, and what's the other thing? I'll say mentally, psychologically as well. So if you put in good things in your space, you'll always be in your mental space, will always be clear. Your physical health, in terms of if you're investing in good quality, let's say seats, chair, or mattresses, it eventually elevates your health.
For sure.
Long term. Psychologically, you're always at peace when everything is orderly. I'm not saying you become OCD, but
just orderly.
Like you're not finding, like you know how people just joke about and say it like very lightly, how you keep stabbing your toes in a piece of chair. There's something wrong with how you arranged your space. That's why
even designing that chair, it seems like we can cut off, we can make it shorter. There are many things. You can put it at a corner.
There's so many ways of arranging a space. It's just how functional and airy and making a space spacious and open for you to also just breathe, you know.
Breathe is the first
requirement
for
your
life.
Home should be a breath of fresh air.
Nicely put. Do you ever find yourself as a designer being a mediator, and especially the point of, if it's a client, if it's like a residential project, you have the man of the house and the woman of the house, and definitely the house is a common place, and they have varying things that they want in the same space, or even just in a company where there's the big boss and the other boss. There are two different bosses, but again they want the same thing. So do you ever feel like a mediator of like, let me merge and make peace for these two people, because they'll be together forever or they'll be together for the next many years. If it's a company, definitely you're looking for longevity. If it's a home, definitely that's till death do them apart. And definitely because of this, there's you want to provide a solution that will cater to both parties. So please tell us of your your perspective as being a mediator.
Have you ever heard of interior designers being low-key psychiatrists or therapists?
Nice, yes.
So I'd say interior design is more psychology than design. Yes, you do the design, but it's more psychology, in that you need to understand the different personalities and figure out a way of meshing them into a cohesive reality.
For sure.
Yeah? So it's more of, I listen to you, you have your preferences, I listen to you, you have your preferences. So I look for a middle ground within your preferences and give you that. But to also make sure that both of you are still happy, some of your individual elements will still show within the design somewhere. Yeah.
I say to clients, building is expensive, but having a designer makes it worth it. And with this one of the things that makes things worth is sustainability. You have it to but you pay for it today, it's still servicing you after a year, after 2 years, after 5 years, and you're like, I've seen like your offices, like they've been done like like the original design is more than 10 years, 20. So you can imagine with good design, in 20 years you do minimal additions. There are spaces I have done, definitely you go and there's one I've seen I did like 7 years ago, it's still standing, and for the only things that they actually add is technology, equipment, biometrics, or maybe screens, some just accessories. But for the main structure, and design gives sustainability to to the spaces that we give. What materials are you going for, more or less, like even just for last year, because the year just started? What do you think you've been moving towards and moving away from in terms of just sustainability?
I'd say I'm not an expert in sustainability.
Okay, no worries. But again, even just for materials.
But in terms of materials, we look at some of the carbon emissions. Like nowadays, most suppliers and manufacturers actually give you that within the specifications. They actually tell you what carbon footprint goes into their product. They'll tell you when it was manufactured, these are the raw materials they get it from. I'd say like PG Bison, they have their own plantation forest there. So for every something trees they cut, they plant, I think almost triple or more of that.
Nice.
And they reuse waste. Like if the PG Bison boards are used up and people like just you demolish and you want to do something new, they actually give you an option of taking those boards back and then they go recycle it. So we look at more of reuse, recycling, and possibly upscaling. Although upscaling has proven to be a bit quite pricier than the other two, in that someone will just give you stories like, oh, I have to do this and this and this and this. But what we actually look at is longevity of materials when you're designing the space. And how easy is it to work around your space in case the client wants to change it? Is it something that's going to cost an arm and a leg, or is it just easy? So that's why when you have flexible spaces, you have like almost zero cost. The only thing you look for is labor cost to change up your space, because you already have everything in place. Nini, if you want to add like a space at the
just
end,
minimal additions.
Minimal additions. Yes. So we look at minimalism and longevity. Yeah. But I can say, Mawe, those masonry walls, those things have been here for like forever. They are the most affordable material you can use. However, they're not very flexible. That's the only downside of it. But in terms of sustainability, I think masonry walling has proven to be unbeatable in that.
Blessed. No, that for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Because even with the stone, when you take down a stone wall, all that will still be used to fill a road.
Exactly.
They can still be chopped up to smaller stones, and you can use them as smaller stones. You can still, have bigger pieces and use as hardcore, or
Yes.
for laying, for laying underlay, for floors or for roads
Your
outside.
foundations and whatever. It has so many reuse.
It has a journey, eh?
It has a longer journey, yes.
That's it. You've seen projects from the first sketch to the final ribbon cutting. In that process, what have you learned about human nature?
Human nature is ever changing, but people will always show you their true colors.
Amazing.
Even us as designers, we will go through, I would say, all parties tend to be very amicable while signing that contract. Let's get to work. And then for the first few weeks, everyone will still be amicable until now money matters start popping up, some mistakes here and there, changes come in,
Deadlines come closer.
Yet there were changes you needed to handle before those deadlines. And I think I just say every project has its own unique journey, but there's no project that you would not go through all those. And when we say like human nature, it changes when it's beneficial for the person, I'd say. So I'll be happy you're giving me the job as a designer. I'll be happy when you're giving me the job. However, we also have a limit where we feel you're not trusting us enough to deliver the project when you come and say, no, do this, do that. When we try to, advise. You came to us for advice.
Or to even guide along. You
Yes.
know, you're just guiding, and you're like, I thought I was coming to guide, but again, you're like, you're guiding me, guiding this.
Yes.
But again, with the guidance that I'm giving, actually is, is what is going to, is saving you, saving you as a client.
Exactly.
But again, client, you really want to go, you're really playing along the edge of the cliff.
Yes. There's a lot of distrust that usually happens along the way, where the client would actually feel like the designer is not listening to me. They're not doing what I want them to do. This is not the vision I wanted, but it's simply because maybe at the very beginning, no one actually checked to see if we were on the same page. We assumed that you understood what we were explaining to you, and you as a client assumed
understood what you communicated to the client, precisely. But all this can be curbed by regularly checking in. Like if I give you a design presentation, I ask you, like, even if it's 10 times, you get where we are headed, you say yes, and you sign off. So that somewhere down the road, if you change your mind, we'll tell you, yes, when you change your mind, this has a cost to it. Cost implications.
Yes, because cost implications are inevitable, and it's like just the way we said before, it's never a plug and play.
For sure.
If you want to move something that has already been done, it costs.
For sure.
But ultimately, I would say human nature is very accommodating.
Mm-hmm.
We ultimately find a way of accommodating each other at the end of the day, and when everyone is happy, everyone is happy. Yeah, that is a good project.
For sure.
Yes.
Wow.
And that is what we strive for.
For sure.
A happy project where all parties are content.
Even just to make good business, you just have to keep delivering what you said you can deliver. So you just need to make sure of what the client, asks for delivery is what is being delivered to, and just to make sure all parties are
actually
happy,
communication is very important.
Oh yeah.
Clear communication, not just communication, very clear communication is very, very, very important. And when something is not going the way that it was planned, please just be honest with your client. I've actually learned people process mishaps differently. Some people will panic, full on panic, but you as the designer, you're supposed to remain calm because you're supposed to be solution oriented. So you are a grounding for your client. And you need to be very sensitive with some statements you say before you start the project, where you're listing out your risks, and then you can also say mitigations. These are some of mitigations that we usually do in order to curb any risks that may come up during the project. So maybe if a client is panicking, something is happening, you just find a way of rephrasing.
Or what point do you think you can say for clients to actually hear and be like, okay?
I would say no project runs smoothly.
You've looked, and it's nice to say that, because even with making sense of life and reality, is once you make sense of normal things that they're like, no project ever happens without challenges or just smoothly from start to finish. It's rare. So in the event you're about to get into a project, you get into challenges, it's okay, inakuanga heavy, so it is just for you to continue going through. You will make it through, but don't, as you've said, you've learned how clients get really do face mishaps differently, or even interpret it differently, and because they interpret differently, they'll act differently. And because of that, you're trying to mitigate and make sense of this to be like, it's okay, we just need to find a solution for this. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, and we'll have passed this issue. So you're like, you make sense of that. The time you're in your project, you go through that, you're like, they say this happened, so it's not that I'm crazy, it's not that the contractors are doing this, it's not, and then you get so much pressure, and you're like, no, it's okay, we'll find a way through it. And actually, even now with that, it's now you have less stress and even more capability to see different opportunities or even different ways of how to solve this and actually solve it faster. And you move past it, and you're like, that nearly caught us, but again, we worked on it very fast, and we're getting closer to the completion of this compared to just being stuck, and it's okay. Yeah.
So most of the time, what planning interiors does where I work, what we do is, when we're giving the client a proposal, we do include a project strategy where we list out how we intend to approach the project, and then we also look at similar projects we've done before, and we tell them, maybe the client is crunch on time, but you tell them, just from the word go, a project of this nature naturally takes up 15 weeks. If we crunch it to 12 or 10, these are the risks we are running. And also, design, people always assume that design process takes, it's like you sleep, concept, yes, good, let's move. But even you can easily do like 4 revisions of a concept until the client is happy. And that process can easily take you 3 months.
But again,
easily take you 3 months.
And it's amazing you actually raise it like that and you say it like that, because you've brought awareness to that. And now, after that, is the benefits of actually doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the benefits you get to be like, let us focus on the drawings, let us focus on the design and the concept, because once we're done with this, can you imagine never looking back at this? The costings, everything else is, the roadmap has been drawn up, and now it's just for you to just
move along from stage to stage to stage. It is very important. As much as your design process will take a lengthier time, do it. It's worth it. Because once your design is set and you have a clear vision of where you're going, you won't have a lot of milestones to face. By the time you're getting to your costs, you already know, okay, my design costs this. But even before you move to site, you need to reconcile your costs with your design. So if the client is it's expensive, there's different ways of approaching it. You either respec or omit. So first, if you want to bring costs down, you respec and you tell the client, it's not that I'm giving you something cheaper or low quality. It's
more affordable.
It's a more affordable version of this. Your outlook will still be the same. It's just a more affordable version of this other material. But if the client still feels we can't, you can tell them, okay, fine. We look at what is a nice to have that you can come and revisit later when you're able to. Then those we omit them or we phase the project out.
With a plan, it's easy for you to even phase it out.
Exactly.
And actually, and while you finished phase 1, it's easy for phase 2 to come without too much distraction in phase 1.
Yes.
Phase 3 can come without any, without touching phase 2 and phase 1.
Yes.
In a crazy way that you're just like, man, it's like you're making 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You're going 5 steps forward, you're making 2 back. So yes, you're moving forward, but again, you're moving in small pieces. And again, even with phasing out, I usually say the costs are still more
they are more
than doing the whole thing at one
once.
time.
Yes.
But again, we understand money comes at times in small batches. You're still giving room for growth. For you have other where to get the money. Building is expensive already, so
Yes.
definitely it's about thinking about where your money is coming from to come and finance your project from point A to Z. And at times it's A to J to K now from K to N to O,
Yes,
O to
to Z, then you come back to AA.
For sure. And it's just we understand all that. And actually, even from a point of as a designer is feeling and understanding where the client is, and to be like, nah, this one will face it out and design a roadmap. Because again, I think the biggest thing even with designers is designing the roadmap of how things to be done.
Yes. Phasing out projects that are phased out, I would say, are the most tedious to do. However, they can be simple if you're smart about it. Like, you would maybe put phase 1 as the needs. Like, you must simply have these done. And then once you do that, then you move to next need. That is not a need, but
It's not a priority. It's a need, but it's not a priority.
Yes. And then now for your nice to haves.
Now your wants.
Yeah, your nice to haves can easily be your furniture, by the way. If you have existing furniture, you can easily use your existing furniture for the time being before you get the money. Because furniture is what usually suffers when it comes to phasing out. Most of the time, furniture. Because it's easy to buy and bring. But even in that, with the planning, you have to also plan with the new furniture in mind, so that you don't end up creating spaces for furniture that won't fit anyway.
That can be such an oversight.
Yes.
And it should be a painful oversight, because furniture also is not cheap.
Yeah, it's not. It's actually almost nearly doubled within the past years.
Why the most beautiful realities require the most rigorous, often invisible preparation, which is more or less the designing part. As you've said, it can take even 3 months.
Yes, because people are more fixated on the finished product.
They're not trusting the process.
Yes, they're more fixated on seeing what is finished without seeing the labor that goes on behind all that, just to get you your vision. There's a lot of planning that is needed.
Crazy. As you said, there are many components that just get into
and
space.
If the planning is off, your dream will be off.
Your budgeting, your finances will be off too, brother, sister. How do you think we can make Nairobi a unique light and spirit, dictating our interiors rather than just copying Western trends?
As Nairobians, or as a Nairobian,
Yeah.
we have a very rich culture, very diverse, and it holds a lot of promise. So instead of focusing more on what is out there, which is still important, don't get me wrong, it is good to expose yourself to what is out there so that you can find out different ways of approaching different things.
Yeah.
But we, in the in the conquest of trying to learn Western designs, we forget that each place has a different climate, has a different identity, has different tastes. So when we copy paste Western, we are losing our culture. When we design spaces without thinking about our climate, we end up over designing for some things like HVAC. I mean, so I'm not attacking the engineers, no, but Nairobi has proven to be one of the cities that have the most like enjoyable weather all year through.
You can just hit it. Kenya, Nairobi is just close to the equator.
Yes.
Or Kenya is just
It has
right
sublime weather all through. If it rains a lot, you'll just complain about small rain here. But in reality, we don't really suffer throughout the extremities of weather that we claim to go through.
Okay.
So if we do design our spaces that is true to our climate, our culture, it will speak more to the world and make Nairobi known, not even Nairobi, Kenya known. And this is just speaking to all countries in general. I have seen other African countries as well, like let's say South Africa, Zimbabwe, Senegal, Nigeria. Most of them actually bring in strongly their culture into their architecture and their small elements here and there.
Nice.
And Kenyans, sorry to say, we tend to lose sight of it. But however, in the recent years, we are trying to bring back our culture in the spaces.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, Joan, we've gone deep. Now we're going fast. I've got 5 questions for you. No overthinking, just your designer's intuition. If you could ban one design trend in Nairobi forever, what will it be?
Using soft white in the house. There are other colors.
Oh my
Please.
God. Hii ni ile color ya landlord.
You call it Kikuyu Gothic architecture.
Ati you call Gothic.
Kikuyu Gothic architecture. There are other colors other than soft white that you can use.
Spaces.
Yeah.
Thank you. Minimalism or maximalism? Which one is a truer reflection of the human soul?
Oh. For sure, the human soul is not a minimalist. For sure, it's not.
Iko na maneno mingi.
Iko na maneno mingi. But we tend to seek grounding in everything. So I think that's why we tend to gravitate towards minimalism. So we're trying to just seek grounding in our very maximalist.
For sure. Uko na vitu mingi pia ufai kuwa na deal tu na vitu mingi kila mahali.
Yeah.
As in like there's so much you're going through, you just have to, for the spaces that you are always, you have to be there during the day or during the night, you have to be in a space. So going for minimalism is just for you to be able to focus your energy on other things that you need to do.
Exactly, yeah. Couldn't have said it better.
Yes. What is the most underrated color in the Kenyan palette?
Okay. I'd say orange. We don't get to see a lot of orange in spaces. You see blues, grays, whites, blacks, yellows here and there, green here and there, lime green almost everywhere. But not much of orange. And orange has such a yummy, it has some yummy shades.
For sure. Hey, look into orange the next time you're doing your spaces.
Burnt orange.
Hey.
Rustic brown. Anyway.
This one's. One piece of furniture every person should invest in by age 30.
A good chair or a mattress, those two. You cannot just live your life without a good chair and a good mattress.
Okay.
Good for your back, more years added to your life.
Good for your sleep.
Yes.
If your life right now was a room, what will be the centerpiece?
My life. If my life was a room.
Yeah. You see now, like today you have the centerpiece here for our set. So I'm like, what would be your centerpiece?
Wow. Is it safe to say I'm still also figuring myself out?
Ah man, it's life, man.
So I would say it's an ever-transforming space.
Okay.
But in every wall, maybe depending on the time we've interacted or during the timeline that you've met me, someone who met me 5 years ago met something different in that room.
Okay.
Someone who met me 2 years back,
Different thing.
but it's more of an evolved version of what was there 5 years ago. Wiser, I would say. Maybe I had a painting of a monochromatic painting 5 years ago as the centerpiece, just to say I am fully focused in my studies or something. And then now 2 years, I'm out of school, you're finding the monochromatic painting has a bit of splash in color because now I'm more exposed and I'm socializing with a lot of people more. And it's just adding a few things, picking up a few things here and there. Maybe when I was born, it was a blank canvas at the center of my room. So I'd just say, yeah. And then maybe at very nice memories, moments of your life, I get a nice masterpiece, I put it on one wall. Yeah, and then it's just collages. Yeah.
As you grow, your taste grows with age.
Yes.
And definitely at the certain time in your
Changes.
life, you had this. But definitely after, thank God for life, thank God for advancement, thank God for, many days on earth, because now you see more days and you develop and you evolve to have seen different, and now you're like, now I think this one talks more about what I feel right now. Let me change with it. And that's design. I hear designers say design as an artist. For sometimes a design never gets to the end. If you are let to go, I think only timelines and deadlines are what stops a design. But rather than that, if you're in your home space,
No, actually,
you can actually design for.
Actually, I think design never stops really, because as much as you met a deadline and submitted it and the client liked it, I kid you not, you will revisit that design maybe a month or a year after, and you will see so many other ways you could have done it.
Amazing.
But it's just that at that time, that is what spoke more to your client.
Couldn't be said any better. Before we let you go, for someone listening who is on the fence about whether they need a professional for the next project, commercial or personal, what is the one thing they'll get from a designer that they can get from a Pinterest board?
Okay. Designers see things like, I'd say the full picture, the whole picture. They would see the spaces coming in together, like individual spaces coming together to create a cohesive environment. Pinterest boards give you isolated spaces. You might like this, I like this, I like this. So if you go with Pinterest boards, just like that, you will end up with spaces that are totally disconnected. So you need a designer to interpret your preferences, your is it characteristics, personalities, just who you are as a person to interpret you. The Pinterest board won't interpret you as a person.
They won't listen to you to hear your problems for it to solve whatever problems that you have.
Exactly. For Pinterest boards, you look at it more with an aesthetic eye. So the functional bit.
I leave that to the experts. Actually, these are points of inspiration. And I usually take Pinterest boards as a point of, you might not know what you need to tell your designer.
Yes, but this is where my head is at.
Yeah, show them the Pinterest, and then for them to pass the photo is explain your point of problem.
Yes.
From where it's coming from.
Yes.
And like you feel this, you will be able to solve it, and then I'll give your story about it I'll give your brief to the designer for them now to interpret and connect all that. And after you've gotten it, all the problem has been solved efficiently and effectively to a point you're like, I don't need to deal with this for the next 5 years, as you said.
Yes. Yeah, it's more of, if you can't communicate it, you use images, right?
Yeah.
So as a client, you'll come with your board. You tell me, this is what I like. But in retrospect, this is just what you like. You like the seat. What is it about the seat you like? You maybe say maybe the wood or the fabric or something. But they saw that image in a dining space, but they want that photo in a study. So you need someone who understands spaces.
For sure.
And how they work and all the little things that make that space functional. To interpret your Pinterest, or rather translate your Pinterest boards into your dream. Or make it, translate it into a functional reality that is a livable space for you.
And that's how you make sense of life and reality. And today you're making sense of interior design in spaces with Joan from planning interiors. And man, you can see how much thought goes into doing this. So to showcase and to highlight and to bring awareness to why interior designers are important for your project, because building is expensive, but having a designer makes it worth it, trust me. So thank you so much, Joan, for having us today and for helping us make sense of it all. It has been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bless you.
This is Making Sense of Interior Design and Spaces we get to live in, we get to work in. Welcome.